Detroit basketball.
Alright Pistons fans, so in today's video, we are finally talking about the preseason schedule for the Detroit Pistons. It has officially been released. I'm going to put the image on the screen right now. It has been reported by Rob Beard, the number one, most verified Detroit Pistons reporter. He put out the news today, and he put out the schedule. The first 4 games for the Detroit Pistons this year are preseason games. Let's get into this, man. So the first game is October 6th against the San Antonio Spurs. Now, actually, before we even get too much into the preseason, I just want to say that I hope the Pistons fans do not rage out. I hope that they don't start overreacting just like they did in the Summer League, man. They were talking about Killian Hayes is a bust again. They were hyping up Saben Lee. In my live streams, there were people who were saying that Saben Lee should be on the main roster and that Killian Hayes should be in the G League, stuff like that. Please don't overreact because of stuff like Summer League games or preseason games. Don't go too crazy over that. And then also, the Cade Cunningham as a bust thing. If he has a bad game against the San Antonio Spurs, or if his second and third games in the preseason, if he had bad games as well, don't label him a bust just like they tried to do in his first 2 games in the preseason, okay? I'm just hoping that Pistons fans, quote unquote Pistons fans, because I don't know, maybe those guys were trolls or, Rockets fans or whatever. I just hope that we don't see too much negativity because we do know that there's a negative portion of the Pistons fan base who want us to fail and get happy when they see the Pistons, have failure. So I'm just hoping that the fan base tries to stay positive and doesn't overreact too positively or too negatively from these preseason games. So that's what I'm hoping for. But as far as the first game against the San Antonio Spurs, I'm actually happy with that because, the Spurs, they're a team, middle of the pack, barely out of the playoffs, trying to fight in every single year type of team. Just lost DeMar DeRozan. A team like the San Antonio Spurs in the preseason, it is a good warm-up game for the first game for the Detroit Pistons. They have young, talented players over there. This will be good reps for Cade Cunningham, Isaiah Stewart, Saddiq Bey, all of our young guys. This will be good reps for those guys. Don't know how many minutes the guys will play in this game, but I'm hoping that Jeremy Grant, Kelly Olynyk, I hope they don't play too many minutes because those are the main guys, the main starters who are going to be the key pieces to the Pistons this year. Cade Cunningham as well as Saddiq Bey. I don't want to see too many minutes out of our main starting guys. Now, if you want to give minutes to Hamidou Diallo, if you want to give minutes to Frank Jackson, if you want to give minutes to the bench squad, I can understand that, but I don't want to see the Pistons main roster, main starter guys being overworked. I don't want to see that. So that's what I'm hoping for. The first game against the San Antonio Spurs, I'm happy that we're playing them because it is a good warm-up game for us on October the 6th. On October the 11th, we play the Memphis Grizzlies, another good team that is going to be good matchups, good warm-ups for the Detroit Pistons. We all know the Memphis Grizzlies. We know the star power of Ja Morant. We know Jaren Jackson Jr. A lot of Pistons fans actually want him to be on the Pistons in the future. I doubt that'll ever happen, but you guys can dream on. Yeah, the Dillon Brooks thing, a few days ago, people were talking about trade Sekou Doumbouya for Dillon Brooks or try to, match salaries or something like that. They were comparing salaries between Dillon Brooks and Sekou Doumbouya and things like that. So we know the Memphis Grizzlies. We know that is a team who constantly tries to fight for that A spot, but just haven't had the luck or the success in getting into that spot. So we know they're hungry this season. We know they're going to try hard and they're continuing to improve. So again, similar to the Spurs game, I'm happy that we're playing a team like the Memphis Grizzlies to warm up and get prepared for the regular season. I'm glad, just in general, before I get to the rest of the teams, I'm glad that we didn't have to play teams like the Bucks or the Nets or anything like that, the top teams in the NBA. I don't know if those guys like Kevin Durant and Giannis, I don't know if they'll play too much in the preseason, but I do remember like a few years ago, back in the preseason, like LeBron and the Lakers, AD and LeBron, they would play like 35 minutes per night in the preseason. So just in case that did happen with a team like the Bucks or the Nets, I'm glad that we didn't have to play those teams. I'm glad that we're keeping it to a manageable level. Teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, teams like the San Antonio Spurs, manageable, good matchups, teams for the Detroit Pistons. Next up, we got the New York Knicks. Now, we played them last year in the preseason. The Knicks just made it to the playoffs. Shouts out to the New York Knicks. I'm kind of a Knicks fan. I do like a lot of the players that they have on their squad. The Knicks have a diehard fan base. So, shout out to the New York Knicks. A team like the Knicks really does give us teams like the Pistons hope in the future, because the Knicks, it's not like they went out there and spent too much money, you know, making big moves, big signings, big trades. You know, they signed Julius Randle. It's not the superstar caliber that I'm talking about. You know, the New York Knicks, they built through the draft. They signed decent to above average players. They traded for a guy like Derrick Rose. The Knicks built their team the right way, and they had success getting to the playoffs. So I like the Knicks. They give hope to a team like the Pistons, saying that we're doing it the right way, you know, making smart trades, smart signings, smart draft picks. Looking at us and looking at a team like the New York Knicks, it does encourage me. So I'm happy that we're playing the Knicks again. We played them in the summer league. We played them in the preseason last year. I'm glad that we're playing the Knicks again. And then the final game is against the Philadelphia 76ers. This is going to be a great tune-up game because this is the last one in the preseason, heading into the regular season, going up against Ben Simmons, going up against Joel Embiid, the star power, the playoff team. They didn't have success in the playoffs last year, but they made it, and they've consistently made it to the playoffs multiple times over these recent years. So going up against a team like the Philadelphia 76ers, I'm happy that we're going up against the Sixers, because it's really going to warm us up and get ready to be prepared for the regular season. And then right after that, we got to get ready for the Chicago Bulls, because NBA season starts on October 20th. So Pistons fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm hyped, I'm pumped. I can't wait for the NBA to come back. I can't wait for the preseason to start. I'm looking forward to all of the young guys, all the improvement. And I'm just ready for Pistons basketball. So like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Make sure you guys go look in the description box below so you can go subscribe to my backup channel, Joe Polo 10 Backup. You can type it in on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my backup channel. I believe I have around 92 subscribers at this current time of filming this video. So make sure you guys go subscribe to that. And thank you guys for 3,000 subscribers, and I'm out.